welcome. One thing I love about spring is all the art festivals that are going on. It's so much fun this time of year to go. And I love to go because I love to look at all the clothes that everybody wears. Because at art festivals, we wear artsy clothes and it's just really fun. So this was an outfit I saw. I went to an art festival Saturday and I saw this on a woman and I, diligently took a few photos of her and copied it. But I told her I was really liked her outfit. So she modeled and it was okay. But I want to show it to you. It's perfect for spring. It's lace, it's bright pink, it's hot pink, it's stripes. It's everything that spring has right now. And yet it's simple, it's easy, it's flattering, it's all those things together. So hopefully you love it as much as I do, and it just didn't take any time to make. I'll go through that all. So first off, let's talk about the pattern. We're going to talk about, I used Phillip's cape. And sometimes I'll get emails like, how come you didn't use XYZ? In my mind, I always use the pattern that is closest to the garment that I'm making. And in this case, there was a couple easy changes and bam, I was there. So very simple to do, and that's why I did it. And the easy changes are even optional. So the first thing I did is I wanted it longer. I wanted it longer than the cape. I've made the cape before and the cape was below my waist. I wanted it to be longer, so I measured how long I wanted it. And I added 6 inches to the bottom. So I'm going to give you some options here. First off, you're only dealing with the cape portion. So there's just the front and the back. The difference between the two is the back is a little longer. I left it like that because that's what I wanted it. But here's the changes I did. I added 6 inches to the bottom. So as I extended it around, I just brought this straight down and then bam, 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 added 6 inches all the way. Probably had I thought about it and did it a little bit again, I probably would have, when it came to here, maybe not added the 6 inches, but had it come up a little bit more. So as you round it around here, maybe think about bringing it a little bit shorter. Either way, it does come up, but just food for thought. So do you want to add it all the way, or do you want it to come up a little bit as you come to the sides? You're going to do the same to the front as you are to the back. All right, then this portion is traced exactly the same. And then when I did the neck edge, and I'm going to kind of show you this right now, how to change that, I wanted it to be a V because the original was a V and the lace would go better on a V. You don't want it high. You want to wear it to where you have a tank top underneath because you can see that you're going to see through this lace. And I just love it. I just love this. I hope you all like it as well. So what I did is I backed off 3 inches from the neck there. And then I took the French curve and I made a V-neck. And I'm going, on my French curve, I'm going from 7 to 18. 7 is here, 18 is here. And so you can see I made a V-neck. And I did that in the front and I did that in the back. Now, one thing to notice, well, I did that in the front and the back. So it's a V in the front, it's a V in the back, okay? All right, so I cut it out. And the only portion I really need to cut out so that you can see this is this part. So just, even though I'm working on the back, imagine that you did it on the front and the back. Okay, because you'll get the idea and you're just going to do the same thing. And I didn't actually do a pattern. I just literally put that down, added the length, changed the neckline. I just cut it away because you have more than you need. And then I did a couple more changes and I'm going to show you what they are. Because I knew the cape fit and I liked the way it fit, that was my pattern. The back is on a fold. Because in the back, what I'm going to do is add double lace. My lace is 1.5 inches wide, so I came in and cut off 1.5 inches. Sorry, that's the front. But I cut it off the front, and then I cut it off the neck edge. And then I cut it off the bottom. And then I cut it off any place the lace was going to go. I cut it off. And that actually became my pattern. Do the same in the front as you did in the back. But in the front, if you notice on the pattern, the cape doesn't come all the way to the front. So I didn't cut it off the front. whereas the back was on a fold, so I did cut it off the back. Because what you want to be careful of is you don't want to end up with this thing that's gargantuous on you. You want it to look like it's shaped for your body. So that's why you work it. And then because the lace that I used, and we've got this under fabrics now on our site, I love this lace. It is a stretch lace, but you don't really need the stretch. It's 1.5 inches wide, so I reduced all of those places by 1.5, so I'd really end up with the size that I wanted it to be. Okay, easy enough? All right, so that's the pattern work. Very simple to do. You're just using the front, the back, add your length, and then change the neckline, and then remember to cut off your lace so that it doesn't get too big. When I went to sew it, now let me tell you, you'll need, depending on your fabric, but a yard of fabric will be enough. This fabric that I used was 60 inches wide. I love this fabric. I mean, I absolutely love it. So I wanted a little punch of color, so that's why I used the pink. And I just really like it. I've got white capris on underneath and then a white tank. Very flattering, really cute. I love it, love it, love it. All right, so I only used a yard of fabric because it was 60 inches wide. And so I got one at the bottom and one at the top of this width. Then I used 10 yards of lace because the lace is going, and what I did when I was sewing it is I just placed that down on the very edge. On the inside of this, there's actually no finishes. I didn't hit the serger at all. It's all done on the sewing machine. And I did the neck edge first. When I got to the place where it actually turned directions, I literally just made a little dart. And I stitched it down so that you can see right there, there's like a little bump in the lace, even though you don't see it. But when you come to a point where it changes, and that's the only point, is right there in the front and right there in the back. I did the fronts the same. When it came to it, I put the lace there and literally just stitched the lace together. So right where it is in the front, it's just overlapped and stitched with a straight stitch. The lace has a border on both edges, so it really kind of finishes itself and works beautifully all by itself. So did that down the front, both fronts, both backs. Then I did the shoulder, and I just brought the lace all the way to the top. There's certainly not a right way to do this. I think there's no bad, there's no perfect, there's no any of that. But I do think it's a lot of fun. And then, of course, I finished with lace all the way around the bottom. You could put a wider lace. You could, if you wanted to, cut it by the yard. You've got, we've got lace that you cut by the yard. You could cut it by the yard. I love this. I love the look of this. And like I said, I love the double. You could make it wider. Gosh, so many. Remember, my job is to give you the ideas. Your job is to go to town with them, right? So hopefully a little cape for spring, for your concerts, for wherever you want to go. You certainly could make it out of a really pretty fabric and dress it up. I like my little casual look. So from Silhouette Patterns, happy sewing. And like I said, I think it's that simple. A yard of fabric, 10 yards of lace is what I do. You might get a couple extra just to make sure, but that way it can be continuous wherever you want it to go. Hot pink, great for spring and summer. Lace, you guys know it's everywhere. And that's it. And your sewing will be happy because you'll love it. All right, thanks. Bye for now.